All right, let's get right into it. This is your urgent cyber threat briefing for February 2026. We've got some critical updates you need to act on now. We're talking huge fines hitting luxury brands, brand new AI-powered attacks, and some major vulnerabilities with deadlines that are literally just hours away. So let's dive in.
So let's start with this number, 36 billion won. For reference, that's over 27 million US dollars. That is the staggering total in fines that was just dropped on the South Korean operations of several huge global luxury brands. I mean, that is a massive financial hit. But what on earth could cause a penalty that big?
You'd think it would have to be some kind of super sophisticated zero-day exploit, right? Nope, you're reading that right. This entire multi-million-dollar disaster, all the data breaches, all the regulatory fallout, it all started with a simple phone call.
And that brings us to our first deep dive. We're looking at a real-world case here, folks. We're talking about giants like Louis Vuitton, Dior, and Tiffany & Co. And it all shows how just one moment of human error can open the floodgates. The weapon they used is called vishing, which is basically just voice phishing. It's exactly what it sounds like. You know all those sketchy phishing emails we've been trained to spot? Well, imagine that, but with the persuasive, manipulative power of a real human voice over the phone. It's social engineering at its most direct. And honestly, it's often the most effective. Let's just trace how this went down, because it's frighteningly simple. Step 1, the attacker just calls up a customer service employee. Step 2, they use social engineering, building trust, creating a sense of urgency to trick that employee into giving them access to a key software platform. And that's it. Step 3, game over. Critical customer data is exposed. The biggest takeaway here, your most advanced multi-million-dollar firewall means absolutely nothing if an attacker can just talk their way through the front door. But here's the thing. As effective as that simple phone call was, the threat is evolving at a terrifying speed. So for our next section, let's look at how state-sponsored attackers are now weaponizing artificial intelligence, making that simple phone call look like child's play. So let's meet our new attacker, UNC1069, a threat group that's backed by North Korea. Their target? Employees at cryptocurrency firms. And look at their toolkit. They're using Telegram for the initial contact, but then they escalate to fake Zoom meetings using AI-generated video and voice to perfectly impersonate executives. And it's all a trick to get the target to deploy brand new malware, like this one called Silence Lift. And this slide really shows you the gigantic leap we're dealing with. I mean, most of us are getting pretty good at spotting the old school scams, right? The bad grammar, the weird links, dear valued customer. But what's your defense against a perfect deep fake video call from someone who looks and sounds exactly like your boss, asking you to do something? The game has fundamentally changed. Okay, let's pivot from the attackers for a minute and talk about our own infrastructure. This next section is a code red alert. We have several critical vulnerabilities that are being actively exploited in the wild right now, and they need your immediate attention. This is the latest from CISA's known exploited vulnerabilities list, and just look at some of these scores. A 9.8 critical from Microsoft Configuration Manager. That is a game over flaw that can let an attacker run their own code on your systems. An 8.8 high for a Windows shell bypass. But listen, the ones you need to drop everything for are these two with a February 15th deadline. That's tomorrow. Let's be crystal clear on this timeline. Today is the 13th. The hard deadline to get the patches for SolarWinds and Notepad++ installed is the 15th. And these aren't just theoretical risks. CISA has confirmed that attackers are actively using these flaws to break into networks right now, as we speak. The clock is absolutely ticking.
So that's a lot of bad news. The big question is, what do you do about it right now? Well, that brings us to our final section, your immediate action plan. We've boiled it all down to 3 clear priorities for you and your organization. First, and I cannot stress this enough, this is the most urgent. Patch your infrastructure tools. That means SolarWinds Web Help Desk and Notepad++ need to be updated today. No excuses, no delays. Second, learn the lesson from the luxury brands. Reinforce your human defenses. Implement dual authorization for any request that grants admin access. One person should never, ever be a single point of failure. And third, start getting ready for what's next. Monitor for AI-based phishing. This means training your staff to be deeply suspicious of any unscheduled video call that suddenly asks them to click a link or download a file. And really, it all comes down to the single question you need to be asking yourself and your team. We've seen how attackers are blending simple human tricks with incredibly sophisticated AI. So as they get smarter, faster, and more creative, are your defenses, both the technology and the people, actually keeping up?
Look, the reason we're able to create these critical security briefings is because of your support. If you found this information valuable, please take a second to like and subscribe. It really provides a huge boost to us, and it ensures you won't miss the next urgent update we put out. Thank you for watching and stay safe out there.